It's time for Insert Client's Product Title here. The greatest podcast or media product or insert name of medium on insert name of client's planet. Billing reference 93424.
Hello. You join me at a tremendously exciting moment. I'm just getting ready, getting stuck in and getting down to getting ready to put out today's Into Your Head temporarily daily breakfast show. It's absolutely fantastic. I've made it already. This is the last bit of recording I'm going to do for it, but I'm going to stick it in at the beginning, just for balance. Because the whole editing process for a podcast, it's like balancing a seesaw. You put a bit child on one end, and you put a child on the other end, and then you see whether it balances. And if one of the children is fatter than the other, you may have to put a bit more on the other end. So it turns out the end of the day's show was heavier than the beginning, so I'm adding this extra bit on at the beginning. Not least because I've already said anyway good morning in the last segment, so I can't go adding stuff on after the end of the show. That'd be fucking ridiculous. So instead I'm adding it on at the beginning. Historians do that all the time, you know. There used to be a time where we all thought, the world began 2,000 years ago, and then some scientists came along and said, it did not, alas, I estimate to have started at least 5 years before that. And then someone got ambitious and they said, there's another couple of 100,000 years before that. And then someone said, wait a minute, look at this fucking dinosaur. This looks quite old, doesn't it? It's so old it's dead. It's past its sell-by date. What's the sell-by date on a dinosaur? I don't know. Did they even trade in dinosaurs in those days? Maybe they did. I suppose to have a sell-by date, somebody has to be trading in it, or they wouldn't bother having one. It's all rules and regulations. I remember back when we used to study the Bible in school, they'd say, there was traders and businessmen and bankers in the Bible. They used to go around, Jesus used to go around to the businessmen and preach to them. He'd say, look at that dinosaur that you're selling there. Where's the sell-by date on that? Have some responsibility. People are dying of freaking leprosy all over the place, and you're not even giving them guidance as to how long you can freeze a bit of dinosaur meat for, or whatever it is. I don't know what you call them. They weren't called dinosaurs until the last couple of 100 years or so maybe they were called something different then. That's why the confusion occurs. That's why they're not called dinosaurs in the Bible. They're called something else. Maybe they're called dog meat. I don't know. They didn't. Marketing wasn't very good in those days, so it's likely that they did call them dog meat. They said, hello, do you want to buy some of this dog meat? Feed it to your kids. Fry it up in the frying pan there. Here's the frying pan. The first ever frying pan. It's not round yet because the wheel hasn't been invented. Frying pans were based on the wheel because they said, if that wheel goes around and causes motion, surely we can make a cooking thing that goes around as well, just by making it circular, and it'll be like a microwave turntable, something which was yet to be invented. And they thought, surely to Christ, if you put some food on a thing that goes round, that's going to heat it up. They had part of the jigsaw, but not all of it, but it was a good start. So what they came up with then was a frying pan, which later became the microwave turntable, because these things develop over time. But when they figured out, they realised then that it didn't work. They tried rotating the frying pan like a wheel, and they realised, nothing's happening. We still need fire. Luckily they had fire still, so they just put a bit of fire under the frying pan. It was as good as, then they started burning cars for some reason. That's when, it was mostly teenagers did that. They started burning cars. They said, if you can burn those freaking frying pans that are based on the wheel, surely to Christ we can put fire under a wheel, and that'll heat up the engine and make it go faster. That's when the first joyriders came about. Was all accidental. All of this is accidental. People don't go around intentionally inventing joyriders and inserting them into society. No, you can't plan for things like that until after they've happened. Then you can plan for trying to get rid of them. I like they're doing in England now. They're trying to get rid of all these lunatics who are going around protesting and burning things down and burning things up and setting things on fire and looting. I've got a lute. The mouth organ is the modern equivalent of the lute. Anyway, welcome to the show.
Hello, this is J. Edgar Casey, and whenever I am listening to fine podcasts, I tune into your head program because it's very clean.
You join me at a tremendously exciting moment. It's Into Your Head, the temporarily daily breakfast show for Monday. We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be dealt with, topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. Topic bars for a start. Topic bar. There's a confectionery item called topic bars. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking he's discussed them already recently. We're rehashing old ground here. We're going back over old ground as if that's a crime. You're allowed to use the same piece of ground twice, you know. It's not like the moon where you just go there once, never to ever return again, and then when you go back you say, we don't get to the moon very often, we better go to a different part this time, not step in the same footprints. No, the only reason they do that is because the first footprints on the moon are being preserved for historical record, and you don't want to destroy them by re-walking over them. But your footprints are not historic. Every time you go out the door to the shop and you leave a few footprints, don't you getting ideas above your station? Your footprints are not an item to be preserved as history unless and until you do something to achieve something important, then maybe, I suppose. But there's such thing as going too far. In my day, if you achieved something that was a major development for the world, they preserved the house you were born in, and they maybe preserved a museum for you. They didn't go around ring fencing every single footprint that you ever made. No. For one thing, any of the footprints that you made before you became famous wouldn't have been preserved. So let's hope to Christ as hell that they don't invent time travel, because if that happens, they're going to start going back through everyone who's famous and finding all their footprints, travelling back and preserving them. You won't know what's going on. You'll be standing there in the street one day and the fence will form in front of you and they'll say, no, this is a protected historic landmark. You can't walk through this. One of these days, the fellow who made this footmark is going to he's going to invent time travel. So have a bit of damn respect. This is in his memory, because he's dead now. Well, he's not dead yet. He hasn't even been born yet. But stop thinking of time as linear. That's what they'll tell you. And that'll be the new thing now. In the next century, they'll all be obsessing over telling people to stop being linear. You'll say, being linear is narrow thinking. You have to think wide and broad. You have to think in 4 dimensions now. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. We'll be going to these 3D movies and they'll say, no, we've got 4D movies now where they stretch out through time and space. You'll be going to a movie and you'll be time traveling back to where the stuff that's the movie's about happened, and you won't make a movie at all. They just make you travel back in time and watch the actual event. The next Schindler's List remake will be a whole different kettle of fish, I can tell you. People won't go to that. They say, I'm not going to that. I don't want to travel back in time to when Hitler was lining me up to be shot. Christ, no, that's not my idea of a night out. I want to just watch it on the screen in black and white. People are obsessed with black and white. They say black and white are two of the most... photographers do this a lot. They'll say black and white are the most pure colours known to man. Everybody on earth is either black or white or somewhere in between. So we're going to do everything in black and white. If I see a yellow person, I'm going to take a photo in black and white, and that'll help them fit in, because I don't want to be racist. That's what they do. Because you can't... once you take someone's picture in black and white, you can't see what colour they are. You have to judge them by their actions, or whatever actions they were taking that were in view of the camera at the time the picture was taken, I suppose. It's a snapshot in time. I have these new energy sweets. See if they work. Let's see there. I'll tell you what they are now, if you have a bit of fucking patience. Dextro Energy, Direct Energy, Blackcurrant and Vitamin C. I'm eating the blackcurrant and the orange and vitamin C ones, but I folded up the packaging on that so I can't read it for you. So this one says 14 dextrose tablets. I have to look up what dextrose is now. seeing as how I'm ingesting it into my system, I suppose I better find out what the frigging stuff is. Let's have a look at this. Dextrose. Search. Dextrose. Oh, it's just another word for frigging glucose. I'm basically putting sugar into my system. I'm probably destroying myself here. So I better wash it down with some coffee. Dextrose and maltodextrin, an in-depth analysis. My wife bought these for me. I'm not sure. I think she thought they gave me energy. Maybe they are. They're giving me energy. I don't know. I won't know until I listen back to this crap. Anyway, it's time for a piss.
There's still more to come on Into Your Head.
Fridays on Into Your Head are Open Line Fridays. If you have a topic for Open Line Fridays, please visit intoyourhead.com/Fridays.
Hey everyone, Brian Jude here, and I'd like to talk to you about the film that I'm making, The Miracle Man. I had a campaign a while ago to raise some development funds, and I find myself needing some more funds for especially legal fees. If you've contributed before, thank you very much, and if you haven't, here's a chance to do so. Go to tinyurl.com/mmfund2. That's tinyurl.com/mmfund and the number 2. And you can check out the different perks that I have to offer there for your contributions. And if you have contributed before, feel free to contribute again, or in either case, please spread the word, especially if you know people who might be interested in funding this kind of thing. Really appreciate it, guys. Thanks and take care. Bye-bye.
Electroplasm, that's what they call it. They call it electroplasm. I wonder what it is, because I just made up that word. But knowing my luck, I'll look it up now and it'll already exist before I even start to talk about it. Let's have a look now. Electroplasm with an S. Oh, electroplasm. Electroplasm's official profile, including the latest music albums. Oh Christ! Somebody has a MySpace page called Electroplasm Leads. What else? Electroplasm lyrics. Spongle. That's a made-up word too. Spongle. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. All about electroplasm, science fiction, fantasy, and ghost stories. Now, I hope this isn't going to be that stuff they're talking about in Ghostbusters, because I'm sure that's something slightly different. I did think about that before. A word that's already in use in Ghostbusters, which I don't think I did. Is that not called something else? The stuff in Ghostbusters is called ectoplasm, not electro. I specifically said electroplasm, so surely to Christ, that's something different. What's this? No, there's no information. There's a site here called Library Thing. Absolutely useless. Most useless piece of crap ever known to man. Let's see. Admittedly, I only looked at it for half a second, so I may be unfairly judging it. If you came along to the Into Your Head website and just looked at it for half a second, what would you think of it? You'd probably think it was crap. At least while it was low, I've just loaded my website. While it's loading, you can read the stuff in the blue bar at the top. At least that helps. It says, Into Your Head, a unique comedy podcast from Ireland fueled by energy drinks, caffeine, and a mind full of nonsense since 2006. And then while you're reading that, the page loads, and you see a big dollop. Apparently there's a theory where people look at a certain part of the screen first when they're looking at a web page. I think it's the top left. I can never remember. The top left of my screen at the moment is completely blank. So my podcast is a blank blank canvas. Can you have electronic canvases? I don't know. If you can have electronic picture frames, surely to Christ you can have electronic canvases on which you paint the stuff to put on the frigging things. Because people don't just get a frigging canvas and just slap it into a program. No, you'll have to take... you want to make some... If you're going to have these electronic canvases, people should be making electronic art to put into them. That's what I do. Several of my listeners have submitted electronic art recently. We have a thing with a cat on the moon and an energy drink can floating around in space behind them. That's from Gamma Goblin. We have some other things from Jerry in Southern California. We have a picture of a motorbike, a couple of other things. What else have we? We've other stuff that will reveal itself in due course. Because that's the way everything should be done in due course. You should never do anything in either undue course or undue haste. If you do it in undue haste is one of the ways you can do something in undue course. But there's other ways as well. You could do it too early, and that would be in undue course. But would be in underdue. Not enough haste. That would be in whatever I said. I'm probably overcomplicating the concept. There's a perfectly nobody has ever come along and said this concept of undue haste isn't sophisticated enough for me. I need some podcaster to come up with something new. And even if they did, I wouldn't know about that. And if I would have no way of attracting these people's attention to my answer that I've put in here, because those people, they're checking on a regular basis to see if anyone's answered their questions in a podcast. No, they probably made a blog post somewhere and said, if anyone comes up with a solution to this problem about the concept of undue haste being too simple, please link me to it here so I can have a look at it. So I need to be more proactive. Probably I should go through every episode and check, is there anything out here that might be an answer to someone's unanswered question on the internet, and I should seek them out. Find them and comment on their posts and say, I've recorded an answer to this as it so happens. Check out my podcast here. I don't know, because you have to. Questions and answers are no use to each other unless they're connected up in some way. It's like when you get they say you have to connect the dots. Here's a dot, here's another dot over here, and they may look the same, but one is a question and one is an answer, and they need to be connected by a big line, which itself is made up of millions of dots. Ironically, is that ironic? I don't know. It's like rain on your wedding day, and a big long series of dots that form a line connecting two other dots. I suppose in the way it is, it's ironic. Here are two little tiny dots, and all you want to do is connect them, and just to connect the two little tiny dots you need millions of further dots arranged in a row, arranged in a series of rows, I suppose. Depends on how big the dots are. That's really, the whole universe is made up of dots, though. That's what we constantly forget. I woke up this morning, I completely forgot. Everything's made up of dots. I got up and had a piss. Then I went and brushed my teeth, and then I went downstairs and fed the cats, and then I came up here and started podcasting, and it wasn't until now, about 4 hours later, that it occurred to me, this is all just dots. This whole frigging place, this coffee that I'm stirring, it's nothing but your coffee, you're nothing but dots. You're not even listening to me because you can't. It's not that you're being rude, you're just the frigging coffee. Maybe you are listening, but you can't hear me. Can inanimate objects listen in some way that we're not familiar? Maybe they can. Maybe we're underestimating them. Maybe there's some way in which coffee can listen, but just not to us. It's listening for a different type of sound that's not really sound, it's something else. I don't know. Maybe they listen for black matter. They say, oh, there's some black matter over there. I bet you those humans can't hear us. They're too preoccupied with their freaking sounds that they make. If they stop making sounds for a while and wake up and smell the coffee, then they might be able to detect the black matter that's floating around. Although they wouldn't know what to do with it, so we just scared them. They think, oh Christ, black matter, isn't that one of those things that forms holes in the universe or something, or destroys everything? No, it's not freaking Star Trek. It's a freaking coffee mug, and I'm a mug of coffee, and you're a human being. That's what my coffee's probably thinking at the moment. Well, I'm stirring you. I'm going to drink you up if you don't go cold too soon, and then I'm going to piss you out into the toilet, and then you'll see about black matter. I can tell you, coffee, that's your real name. Maybe it is. You're just atoms. You're just hydrogen, oxygen, whatever's coffee's made of. What's coffee made of? I don't know. Whatever's in milk, I suppose, and whatever's in the coffee beans, which is being ground down to its constituent parts and stirred around. Someone in Kenya or somewhere gets the coffee beans and stamps on them like grapes, and then they put them away somewhere to age, presumably, and then they ship them over to here, and they put them in a jar of granite granules. Because over here, I don't know if you realise, over here in Ireland, we don't do the whole making ground coffee thing. No, we all drink instant. We've got better things to do than get up and make coffee in the morning. So we get a couple of spoons of instant coffee, a bit of sugar, a bit of milk, and we pour some boiling water in on top of it, and we stir the crap out of it like this. That's how we do coffee over here. We pay people to manufacture the coffee granules for us. We've enough to be. Beans are for dinner. They're not for freaking making beverages out of. If there's any beans coming into my house, they're for putting in the freaking chili. That's what they're for. They're kidney beans. Or I suppose runner beans as well. I'll take a few of them. Maybe beans if wifey is making some sort of a cushion out of them. I don't know. But no, there's very few coffee beans come into this house, I can tell you. Anyway, where was I? 9 minutes and 4 seconds. That's absolutely fantastic. I still haven't had that piss that I mentioned at the end of the last segment, and frankly, I'm feeling it now. I can feel it pushing its way out. That was coffee too. Coffee, that piss that's coming out of me now, that used to be coffee. It used to be smart horse sitting in the same mug that you're in now, taunting me about its knowledge of the universe, and now I'm about to flush it out of my house. So let that be a lesson to you. You can't let these inanimate beverages get all smart-arsed and get the better of you. Not least because they're not able to. Anyway, on with the show.
Help support this free podcast. Make a one-off donation of any amount, or sign up for a recurring payment giving as little as €2 a month over 6 months. Remember, you don't need a PayPal account to leave a tip. You can even use that cute little debit card that the bank fobbed you off with. Just visit intoyourhead.com/tipjar for all the details. That's intoyourhead.com/tipjar.
Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, he's lost it. He's talking to his coffee. Well, no. If you bother to listen to what I'm saying to my coffee instead of just judging everything on the face of it. Admittedly, if you see someone talking to their coffee at first sight, if you don't analyse it, that looks like they're going stark raving nuts. But no, if you listen to the content of the material that I was imparting towards my coffee, then it all makes sense. I was making a very intellectual, philosophical argument towards the coffee, and I knew damn well the coffee wasn't listening to me. I knew it was all for you. I was allowing you to listen in on a theoretical third-party conversation, and it was really for you, the listener, for your benefit. So, before you start judging me just for talking to a coffee, and judge the value of what you heard, what you learned, judge what you gain from it, not what the coffee gains from it. I know damn well the coffee has nothing to gain from it. Maybe I have nothing to gain from it too, but it's for your benefit, it's for your entertainment and stimulation. When you go down to the freaking circus, you see the clowns barking at each other or doing whatever they do. You don't say, oh, look, that other clown, clearly you're making him sad. Look at the face on him. You're making that fella sad. You do it not. You just laugh. You laugh at the funny bits and you say, oh, I'm getting some value from this third-party conversation because it's being performed for my benefit. They're well aware that you're watching them and they're doing it for you. To have a bit of fucking perspective. Anyway, good morning.
Sit, Kofi, sit. Good cat.